Hey everyone, how's everybody doing? So, this is Felipe, and I'm in Reservado Cajuzeira here in Lençóis. And today I want to show you a bit about how we use cassava in agroforestry systems. So, I'm in this place that we planted last October and November, so it's 7 months old. And basically, we planted lots of cassava and beans, or rather, it was cowpeas, not beans. And nowadays we're already harvesting cassava, and we've got the forest coming up from underneath the cassava. So we've got lots of small trees which were planted by seed, and they're all growing underneath this nice canopy of cassava, as you can see above me. So it's 7 months, and we're already working in the shade, which is a really good thing. And we've already harvested a lot of cowpeas. This is about 500 square meters, and we harvested 30 kilos, 30 to 40 kilos of cowpeas, which is an all right amount. And we're already harvesting cassavas, which is pretty amazing because it's been 7 months, and usually we take 12 to 16 months to harvest them. And they're giving us a steady 3.5 kilos per plant. And we hope that in a couple of months, they're going to be giving us at least 4.5 to 5 kilos. So it's pretty exciting. And we decided to harvest them a bit earlier because we planted them in a really, really dense stand. And they're already shading too much. And I really want to open up a bit of sunlight for the young trees, the banana plants, and all the rest. You can see behind me there's a bit of there's some prickly pear over there, and we've got the little tree seedlings here. Let me change the camera a bit so that you can get a better idea. So here we've got a nice cassava plant. This one is ready to harvest. You can see the thickness of its stem. We can probably get it's going to give us 3 kilos for sure. And then we've got this beautiful senna. It's a wild senna we've got here, but this one was planted. It's really an amazing plant. It produces lots of organic material. There's a small palm tree coming up here, which could be a native one called licuri, or it could be dates, because we planted dates here. This buddy here looks like a passion fruit. And we've got a small citrus coming up here. In front of each cassava, we've got a small group of plants. These were all planted by seeds. So here we've got cashew, papaya. There's a nice papaya already growing here. Once we start harvesting this cassava, these are gonna boom and start producing fruit. We've got some other native fruit. We've got sugar apple. We've got chili. Just lots and lots of stuff. And you can see that there are a bunch of small seedlings everywhere along with the cassavas. And we've got the bananas which suffered a bit from the shade, but now they really should come through. And the amazing thing is that there's yams over there climbing on the cassava. So this is going to be pretty exciting when we harvest this yam. So we're producing a lot of food, from the cassava, and we're creating the nursery for our young plants. This is a perfect nursery environment, right? It's half shaded, but not too shaded, and we're producing food with it, which is pretty amazing. We've got that's pigeon pea as well, which is an important plant for us here. Let me take a walk with you. Check out all the organic material that's already been produced from the pigeon pea. And even the cassava is producing quite a lot of organic material as we harvest. As you can see here, we're already putting lots of material on the ground. And this is really going to feed the ground, feed the soil. Here we've got another little cocktail of plants, as we like to call them. So, we've got citrus, sugar apple, dates. Again, this is masala, an African fruit, which I brought from Mozambique. This is mutamba, which is another native species. And the cashews are really coming up really amazing. This is 7 months old. In about 6 more months, it's going to be taller than I am. And one thing that I really love pointing out is what cassava does to our soil, which is really amazing. I'm going to try to find it somewhere where we've harvested it. I think there's one over here. So we harvested it here. You can see the leftover of the thinner roots that we didn't use. And you can see the leaf cutter ants are here. And they're working on the cassava that we harvested, which is pretty amazing because they're leaving the cassavas that are already alive or are still alive in order to cut the already decomposing leaves, which reinforces our belief that all these insects, which are considered pests, they actually only attack plants after the plants already have a decomposing information, meaning they have already started the decomposition process because they don't have enough nutrients to maintain their cells whole. So that's the whole concept of trophobiosis. If you guys haven't heard of it, I recommend you research it a bit and look at all the structure of the soil, which was produced by cassava basically. Cassava is really great at structuring the soil. Let me open up a bit more so that you can actually take a look. Oh, check it out. I found another root, which I hadn't found yet. I'm going to have to add this to the kilo counting because this is another good half a kilo at least. So I promise this was not rehearsed. I really didn't know this was here. And also we're going to go to 4.2 kilos or something from this root that this cassava we harvested yesterday. And look at the soil. It's really well structured. It's perfect. And this is all done by cassava. Look at all these crumbles. Really amazing. So we really should use cassava to improve our soils and to create our forests and produce amazing food while doing it. There's a myth that cassava destroys the soil. But people really love saying that plants destroy the soils, but really they don't. It's how we use them that destroys or enriches the soil. But basically, cassava in monocultures needs lots of weeding, and people usually do that with a hoe. So, during the cycle, it's going to take 4 or 5 weeds in order to have good production. And, all that weeding with the hoe really destroys the soil, as any sort of tool or machinery that's used too much in agriculture can really destroy the soil. But when you use it like this with lots of organic material, you don't have to weed. We used cowpeas as our weed, and cowpeas really covered everything. So there was just no room for weed. And we harvest 30 kilos of cowpea. and did not have to weed. So it's a win-win situation. And then you have cassava restoring soil health and structuring the soil and making associations with mycorrhiza, which it does tremendously well. It's one of the plants with the most predisposition for mycorrhiza associations. So it's really a must in any tropical system. And so let's plant cassavas, guy. I'm gonna take you to a bit more of the system, give it a nice walk so that you can take a look. We've got some growing bananas. They really should be bigger. These ones don't look so good for 7 months, but maybe the manure we used wasn't enough. We've got castor beans, some pretty big ones too. Check it out. Uh, Let me see if you can have an idea. All right, this is castor beans. It's 5 meters tall. It's a great plant for us here. We really love it because it produces so much organic matter and it withstands the drought really well. And like I said, we've got yams, we've got the prickly pear coming up really nicely. Once it gets a bit more of light, it's gonna really thrive. And all the castor beans, you can see they were pruned and they're resprouting. We've got some taro here, which did not develop so well, but it will resprout next season. So that's what I have for you today. I really want to encourage you to plant cassava if your climate allows it, if it's possible. And it's an amazing plant. It produces a lot of food. It creates great conditions for young trees to grow. And from its roots, you can produce a huge diversity of products. You can eat it cooked, fried. You can produce hundreds of different flours. So it's an amazing plant. I thank you for watching. If you like this video, give us a thumbs up and share it with your friends. If you haven't yet subscribed to our newsletter, do so that you can be the first one to know about the news, what we're up to. And thank you for watching. So this is Felipe for the Agroforestry Academy crew signing off.